One day you wake up with $30 and a note that says for rent. The thing is you aren't renting out the place. The next day you see a spider and right before you kill it you hear it say, "Please, I paid my rent, don't kill me." Part 1. Wait, don't kill me. Someone in my apartment says, just as I'm about to smash a spider. I stop in shock. Who said that? I ask, holding the shoe in my hand, looking around my apartment. Me. It's the voice again. It's a little voice. Now I realize it's coming from the tiny little spider on my wall. The spider I was about to kill. Don't kill me. Look, I paid my rent. Paid your rent? What do you mean paid your rent? The money. It was me. I'm the one that left the money. That was you? I turn and grab the $30 left on my table with the note for rent. You left this? I ask. Yes. How? It wasn't easy, trust me. I drop the shoe on the ground. Wait, am I going crazy? Certainly not, Justin, certainly not. I've been watching you through the window. I've lived in the potted plant on your balcony all summer long and through the fall. But it has gotten cold, Justin. If I stay outside, I'll die. My species dies in the winter, unfortunately. I thought maybe, you'd let me hang in here, get it? Hang? I got it, but I'm kind of a private person. I like my space. Understandable. Totally understandable. It will be like I'm not even here. That corner there, I point to the ceiling. That's yours, alright? That corner, yes, the spider says as they crawl up into the corner. You know my name, but what is yours? I ask. You can call me Sarah. Alright, Sarah, it's nice to meet you, Sarah the spider. You too, Justin. I feel like this is the start of a beautiful thing. I look down at the $30 and put it in my pocket. We'll see, I say. The passing days go well. Sarah is actually good company. I didn't realize how lonely I was until I had Sarah there to talk to. I told her about my day, about my work. I complained about my boss. She listened to me, always listening, and gave me the support I needed. Honestly, I looked forward to the time I could come home from work and talk to Sarah. One night as I'm watching television with Sarah, her sitting up in her corner laughing with me to the romantic comedy, suddenly she falls off the wall and onto the couch. Sarah. I call out and scoop her up. I hadn't touched Sarah yet, and I had a slight revulsion at her hairy little legs and fangs. But she was my friend, and I pushed past that urge to crush her in my palm. Are you okay, Sarah? I'm sorry, Justin. It's just I haven't eaten in a very long time. Your apartment doesn't have any bugs. You are a very clean person, and that's good. But, unfortunately, that leaves nothing for me to eat. I shut off the television and lift her up to my face. What can I do, Sarah? Well, I wouldn't want to bother you. You're tired, you've been working all day. It's okay. I'm sure a fly will show up someday. Nonsense, Sarah. You are hungry. I'm a fool not to have noticed until now. You've been such a good roomie. You've been such a good friend. It's the least I can do for you. I'll go out right now and get you some food. I left and headed to the nearest pet store and bought a carton of fruit flies. I brought them home and sprinkled some on Sarah's web. Here you go, Sarah. Here's some fruit flies for you. Do they taste good? Oh. They taste delicious, Justin. Thank you. How can I ever repay you? Don't worry about it, I say. They weren't very much money and you've earned it by listening to all my problems. I'm glad you like them. The next day after work I come home and Sarah has eaten all the fruit flies. Her web has grown, covering more of the wall. Oh. Justin, you're home. I feel so much better. Thank you. That's great, I say, throwing my work bag in the corner. That's really great. I'm happy. I fall down on the couch and grab the remote. Oh, Justin, Sarah says. What's that, Sarah? I've made something for you. Look. I look up and notice she has spun a portrait of me in her web. I lean back in surprise. It's really quite impressive. Wow, I say. You do that yourself? I ask her. Who else would? Silly, Sarah laughs. I notice she's grown quite a bit since I fed her the fruit flies. I turn on the television and start to watch a show when I hear her little voice in the corner of the room. Oh, Justin? I pause my show. Do you really like my picture of you? Of course, I say. It's wonderful. Really quite impressive. I'm glad to hear that. I restart my show. Justin? I pause the show. Yes? Do you have any more fruit flies? No, I think I fed them all to you last night. Why? Are you still hungry? I ask, surprised. Oh, no, it's okay. I'm okay. It's no worries, I say. If you're hungry, I can go get more fruit flies. Well, the flies are so little. Would you mind getting something bigger? I'll see what they have, I say, getting off the couch and putting on my shoes. Be right back, I say, closing the door and heading to the pet store. One day you wake up with $30 and a note that says for rent. The thing is you aren't renting out the place. The next day you see a spider and right before you kill it you hear it say, "Please, I paid my rent, don't kill me." Part 2. I decide on crickets. The employee, a beautiful young woman, puts her hand in the cage and scoops a dollop of the insects off the bottom of the cage and puts them in a plastic bag. What kind of pet you got? She asks. Didn't you get fruit flies yesterday? Wait, let me guess. A leopard gecko? No. That can't be it. I got it. Praying mantis. You get a bunch of babies? She smiles at me, waiting for my response. Her teeth are perfect and straight. I feel I could stare into her hazel eyes forever. Well? She says with a laugh. What is it? What you got? Oh. Spider, I say. You were close. She nods. Spider. Ha, she says. Just one? Just one, I say. Must be a big one, she says, chuckling. Nah, she's just hungry. Oh, a girl? How do you know? I freeze for a second. Oh, just a guess. She smiles again and I look away, so I don't stare like a fool. I look down at a wall of rodents in glass cages. I'll ring you up at the counter, she says and walks past me. What's your name? She asks, handing me my change after the transaction. Justin, I say, taking the bag of crickets. Thanks, Lisa, she says, smiling again. Enjoy your spider, Justin. I nod and smile sheepishly, walking out the door. Oh, and Justin, be careful. Girl spiders can be very dangerous, she says, then winks at me. When I get home the next day, Sarah's web has grown even more, and she's eaten all the crickets. The web has covered the whole top of my living room. Justin. I hear her call from deep inside the web and she crawls out to greet me. Hello, Sarah, I say, flopping on the couch. It's so nice to see you. You too, Sarah, I say and look over at her. She's grown a lot. She's bigger than my fist. When she first arrived, she was the size of a quarter. Wow, Sarah, you're getting quite big. Oh, you think so? She said, lifting her legs daintily along her web. Do you think I look good? I shrug. You look healthy. I'm happy for you. Oh, Justin, you really do care about me. It's so nice to have someone to care about you, don't you think? Yeah, I say, thinking about all the time she has listened to me. It is nice, Sarah. I grab the remote and turn on the television. Oh, Justin, I pause my show. Yes? I ask. I just wanted to say you've saved my life. Without you, without this apartment, I would have died. That means a lot to me. Don't mention it, I say. I'm glad you showed up. You're a good friend, Sarah. A very good friend. I like having you around. I like being around, Sarah says. I turn the television back on. Justin, yes? I'm still quite hungry. And I don't want to be a bother. I turn off the television and smile at her. It's no bother, Sarah. You want me to go get you some more food? Well, if you are offering, that would be wonderful actually. I've been so busy today, you see. With the web, do you like it? It's really nice, I say. And it was actually very beautiful. It felt warm and comforting and brought life to the room. I grab my keys and put on my shoes. And Justin, yes? The crickets are really quite small. Do you think, maybe, you could find something a little bigger? Sure thing, Sarah. Be back in a few. Lisa's cleaning a fish tank when I arrive. I come through the door and the bell rings. She's leaning far into the tank and her beautiful figure is in full display in her skinny black jeans and tight, collared work shirt. She looks back and sees me. I look away quickly, hoping she didn't catch me staring. Back again. She says, cheerfully, her voice filling me with a warmth. Back again, I say with a smile. Give me a moment and I'll be right there to help you. What did you need? I decide on a few small mice. What are these for? She asks. You got another pet? Yeah, I say. A snake, I say. A snake. Wow, I got a snake too. What kind of snake? Shit, I think to myself. Rattlesnake. She leans back in surprise. A rattlesnake? That's dangerous. Shit. Wrong kind of snake, I think to myself. But I gotta go with it. I like to live dangerously, I say and try to wink at her, but I end up closing both my eyes on accident. I'll say, she says with a laugh. How many mice you need? How many you think? I ask her, how big is this snake? It's not so big right now, but it's growing really fast. Alright, let's just say 5 or 6 for now. Sound good? Sounds good, I say. I'd love to meet your spider and snake someday, she says quietly as she's scooping the mice out of the cage. Did she really just say that? I ask myself in shock. Well, she says, embarrassed, I'm a big animal lover. All animals. I just think it would be cool to see them. Yeah, I say. My face is completely red. Yeah, that would be cool. One day you wake up with $30 and a note that says for rent. The thing is you aren't renting out the place. The next day you see a spider and right before you kill it you hear it say, please I paid my rent, don't kill me. Part 3. You have to see her, Sarah. She is the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. I'm saying this to Sarah as I fall onto my couch, sighing with bliss. I just about floated home in pure joy. My heart is racing, and I can't stop smiling. She wants to come see you, Sarah. She wants to come to my apartment. She also thinks I have a snake, a rattlesnake to be precise. I shake my head at my stupidity. Wow, that's really wonderful, Justin. I'm glad to see you so happy. Thanks, Sarah. You've been such a good friend. You're always there for me. Truly, you are, and I can't thank you enough. Wow, I just can't stop talking, huh? I get up off the couch. Oh, I say looking at the mice. I almost forgot. Here, I grab the bag and toss it to the ceiling. It sticks to the webs and Sarah comes over slowly and looks at the mice with disinterest. What's the matter, Sarah? Aren't you hungry? Oh, I think I've lost my appetite for now. Everything okay? Everything is great. I don't know. I think I'm just tired from working on the web. Do you like it? Yes. I shout. I'm surprised at my own exuberance, but everything seems wonderful to me right now. It's really great. You are really talented, Sarah. Truly. Sarah lifts herself up straight. Thanks, she says. I like to hear that from you. Of course, Sarah. Finally, I fall onto the couch, but I don't turn off the television. I'm thinking about Lisa. She wants to meet you, Sarah. That must mean she's interested in me, right? You never know, Justin. She probably just says that to all of her customers, Sarah says, poking at the bag with one of her wiry legs. I mean, she works at a pet store. Sarah grabs one of the mice that has wormed its way out of the bag, and it shrieks as she pierces it with her fangs. What did you say her name was again? Sarah asks as the mice convulses, the poison coursing through it. I spend my whole workday thinking about Lisa. I run the conversation over and over again in my head. I smile and laugh thinking about what she said to me. I expand the conversation, daydreaming. I build whole walks along the city together in my mind. She's laughing at what I say, she's being silly. We brush up against each other in my daydreams, her hand barely touching mine. We look at each other and smile. My breath is heavier. The sun is shining down on us. The birds are chirping. Ah, I think, leaning back in my office chair. It is a wonderful day. Maybe I'll go get some more mice today. I'm sure Sarah will be hungry. When I get home, the web has grown even more. It has expanded into part of the kitchen area and has covered half the bay window. When I open the door, Sarah is looking through the window. She doesn't see me as I walk in. I stare at her. She's grown. She's now as big as my head, maybe bigger. Her size is actually pretty intimidating. If it wasn't Sarah, I would definitely be scared. But she looks sad, staring out the window. Sarah? Everything okay, Sarah? Sarah turns and looks at me. Ah, Justin. Yes, of course. Everything is great now that you're home. You seem sad looking out the window. Is there something out there? Just the world, Justin. I miss the world, you know? I've been cooped up in here for so long now. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate it. I appreciate all you've done for me. Look at me, I've thrived under your care. But, still, I just miss the sky. I miss the sun rising and glistening on my web. I miss the feel of real prey as they dance the strings. I miss the patient hunt. Wow, I had no idea, Sarah. I'm so sorry. Oh no, it's okay, Justin. I have kept it inside me. I didn't want to be a bother, you know? I didn't want you to think I'm ungrateful. Never. I say, never feel that way. You mean so much to me, Sarah. I don't want you to be so unhappy. Wait here, I'll be right back. I walk to my neighbor's house. Ms. Lewis. I knock on the door. She's been my neighbor for years. Every Christmas her and her two small kids bring me a plate of cookies. The door opens and Ms. Lewis smiles at me. Justin. It's so nice to see you. What do I owe the pleasure? Well, Ms. Lewis, how many times do I have to tell you? Call me Jennifer. You make me feel so old. She says and slaps my shoulder. Jennifer. Well, you wouldn't let me borrow your cat carrier, would you? My carrier? Sure. What do you need it for? Do you have a cat now? Ms. Lewis, Jennifer, says leaning out her door. No. No. But I'm cat sitting, and the cat isn't feeling well. I mean, I'll wash the carrier out for you afterwards. I promise. Of course, Justin, let me get it for you. I place Sarah in the carrier and cover it with a blanket and I take her out into the night. Where are we going? Sarah asks, excitedly. It's a secret, I say as we walk through the city. Oh, Justin. I'm so nervous. Where are we going? Oh, tell me. Just wait, I say. We arrive and I pull back the blanket and let her out of the carrier. She crawls out shyly and looks into the sky. I have taken her to the city park. There is a small island in the middle of the pond at the center of the park with a bunch of trees. There is also a huge, massive street lamp rising into the sky. The night is blanketed with a thick mist of insects as they fly around and around the lamp. Looking up from below, they look like a snowstorm. Wow, Sarah says. Beautiful, huh? It's marvelous, Sarah says. Well, don't just stand there. Get up in those trees and show me what you can do. Yes, sir, Sarah says playfully and scampers up one of the trees. Before long, she has weaved a massive web between the trees and the street lamp. She's practically dancing as she skips from one spot to the next. I sit back and watch her. She is quite amazing. I think to myself, I know her and Lisa will get along splendidly. One day you wake up with $30 and a note that says for rent. The thing is you aren't renting out the place. The next day you see a spider and right before you kill it you hear it say, "Please, I paid my rent, don't kill me." Part 4. After a while Sarah begins to slow down. It's so cold, Justin, she says. I'm starting to feel really tired. It's the middle of winter, I say. That's normal. We'll head home now. She comes down from the tree and I place her in the pet carrier and wrap a blanket around her. Thanks, Justin. Really, thank you. Don't mention it, I say. What are friends for? When we get home, I grab her, bundled in the blanket. She is sleeping. She wakes up as I start to unwrap her. Oh, she says. Oh, we're home. Yep, I say. I'm sure you're hungry, I say. I look at my watch. The pet store closes in 20 minutes. I got plenty of time to stop by and get you some mice. Oh, she says. Is Lisa working tonight? I'm not sure, but I hope so, I say, grinning. Well, actually, I'm not really hungry, but I'm still so cold. You wouldn't mind just holding me for a little while, would you? It's so hard for me to recover my body heat. I'm not warm-blooded like you. Oh yeah, of course, I say. You know, there's a lot about you I don't know. I should ask more questions. Another time, she says, as she curls up tighter in the blankets in my lap. After a few minutes, and after Sarah falls asleep, I look at my watch again. The store would be closing soon. I wonder what Lisa is doing right now. Oh well, I say and close my eyes. I fall asleep with Sarah resting in my lap and Lisa in my dreams. When I get home from work the next day I open the door to the whole living room covered in webs from about head height up to the ceiling. I have to break a few webs to get into the room and duck to keep from scraping against the top of the web, getting my head stuck. Justin? I hear a voice. It's coming from the other side of the room. Maybe in the kitchen. Is that you, Justin? Sure, I say. It's me. I throw my briefcase in the corner of the room where I always do. Oh, I'm so glad you're home, she says, and I see her crawl through a tunnel in her thick web. Watching her race towards me, all 8 eyes piercing me with their black stare, I have the urge to rush out of the room. Wow, I say, looking at the web. You've done quite a lot, haven't you? Oh, I've just been bored, she says. Why? Do you think it's too much? Well, I say. It does seem to be a little. I lift my hands up. Excessive, maybe, excessive? She says, is that what you think of my web? Excessive? Well, maybe that's not the right word. I say. I'm sorry, I'm never good with words, and this is true. My ex-girlfriend could attest to that. But, Sarah. I can't even lift my head up all the way. Well, maybe just sit on the couch? You don't have to get up. I'll get anything you need. Oh, I say. Well, that is very kind of you. Thank you. I sit on the couch and she brings me a beer from the fridge. Oh, I'm not really feeling like one right now. Actually, I was thinking of going to get you some food. Would you like some more mice? Oh, that is quite all right, Justin. You know, you inspired me to be a little more adventurous. I opened the window to the balcony and built a web out there. I caught 3 pigeons today. I really gorged myself. How do I look? She twirls around on her 8 legs then curtsies. Wow, I say. You look. She's gotten much bigger. Her skinny arms seem almost as long as mine now. You really have grown a lot, Sarah. Thank you, Justin. I'm glad you think so. I feel so alive. Really? I do, and I have you to thank for that. Truly. She crawls over to me and brushes my cheek with one of her arms. Truly. She says. She begins to walk in circles around me, staring at me. The thread coming out of her is spinning circles on my carpet. I step over the thread. Her eyes seem like dark, black pits. There is so much I want to say to you, Justin. So much I want to thank you for. I say. I'm feeling very nervous. She's never made me feel nervous like this. I step towards the door. I actually forgot my work laptop at the office, and I forgot I had a big project I had to do tonight. Really? Sarah says, that's not something you'd usually do. Are you feeling alright? I'm just a little tired today, I guess. I've been really busy at work. Can you just stay for a few more minutes before you head out to the office again? You just got here. Sorry, I say, stepping backwards. Some of the webs from above me catch in my hair and I tear at them to release me. Justin, Sarah says, is everything okay? I finally tear myself free. Yes. I shout and Sarah steps backwards. She seems hurt by the level of my voice. Yes, I say more calmly. I'll just be right back, okay? I open the door. Justin, what is it, Sarah? You forgot your work bag. Thanks, I say, grabbing it and stepping out into the winter night. One day you wake up with $30 and a note that says for rent. The thing is you aren't renting out the place. The next day you see a spider and right before you kill it you hear it say, please I paid my rent, don't kill me. Part 5. Stand at the entrance to the pet store. I can see Lisa mopping the floor. I can see it's almost closing time. I step into the shop and hear the bell ring. She turns and looks at me. Well, if it isn't Mr. Rattlesnake, himself. She says, need some more mice? Maybe crickets? Not really, not tonight, I say with a smile. So? Then what brings you in? She says, turning back to mopping the floor. Well, I was just thinking. Maybe I could walk you home? Tonight? Yeah? Is that weird? If it's too weird it's okay. I understand. You barely know me. No. It's fine. I'd like that actually. It's always such a lonely walk. She smiles again at me. Her eyes fill me with an unknown contentment, a happiness like that of seeing untouched wildflowers in a mountain meadow. Sounds great, I say and step out into the parking lot and sit on the lip of cement flower bed. I look up into the night. The stars are washed out by the parking lot lights. The sky is a black sheet staring down on me, reminding me of Sarah's 8 staring eyes. Lisa comes out, pulls up the hood of her sweater, then rubs her arms. Wow, it is cold out here, she says. There is frost from her breath. It shouts out in cadenced clouds. When she steps close to me, I can feel it on my cheek. It warms me. Would you like my jacket? I ask her. A gentleman, I see, she says. Not many of those left. I chuckle. Habit, I guess. It was drilled into me as a kid. She smiles. That's good, she says. She steps off the curb and begins to walk. Very good. How long have you worked at the store? I ask her, trying to make conversation. Just a few months now. She shrugs her shoulders. I love the animals and it pays enough for my rent, which is not much. That's nice, I say. And what about you? What do you do, Justin? I sit at a boring desk and work a very boring job. It's really quite boring and not worth talking about. She smiles and nods. All right, well, what do you want to do? If your job is so boring, you must yearn to do something more. Teach, I say. I want to be a teacher. She leans back. I can see that, she says, looking me up and down. Professor Rattlesnake. I like it. Her apartment is only a few blocks from the pet store and when we arrive and she says, that's me, pointing up somewhere towards the top of the tower, I feel a pit of despair rising in my stomach. Thanks again for the walk, she says. Of course, I say, putting on the best smile I can. How far is your walk home? She asks. Not far, but I think I'm going to keep walking. It's a nice night. It's freezing, she says. I laugh. That's okay, I don't mind the cold. She looks at me for a few seconds. Listen, you want to come up and get some coffee? Decaf. Warm up a little before the rest of your walk? Oh. Are you sure? I ask, trying to play it as cool as I can. Of course, she says. Come on up. Lisa's studio apartment is nice. It's simple and small, but clean and there is a large window that opens up to the city below. Here, sit down, she says. I'll start some coffee. I sit on the couch and look around, awkwardly tapping my hands on my knees. Take off your jacket, she calls out from the kitchen area, not looking back at me. You got a really nice place here, I say. She laughs. It works. For now. I'm happy with it. She brings me a mug and grabs one for herself. She puts it up to her face. Her cheeks are red from the cold, her eyes are almost brown under the low light of her apartment. She stares at me. I feel a giddiness looking at her and I look away. Everything okay? She asks as she sits down on the other side of the couch. She slips her shoes off and tucks her feet under her. Sure, I say. Why wouldn't it be? I don't know. You just showed up so randomly. Asked to walk me home. You didn't seem to want to go home. Just want to make sure you're okay. I'm okay. There's just. For a second I want to tell her about Sarah, about everything that has gone on. But I'm scared she won't believe me. I just really wanted to see you. I don't know why. I'm sorry if that's strange. No, she said, smiling. Don't apologize. It's cute. It's been nice. Look, you can sleep on my couch if you'd like, if you don't want to walk home. I mean, it's not the best, the couch, but it's comfortable. I'll get you some extra blankets. You sure you don't mind? Not at all. That's really kind of you, I say. Here, she says, getting up and placing her mug on the coffee table. The steam rises like soft streams of gossamer, then disappears. She comes back with 2 blankets and a pillow. Should be good, right? Perfect, I say. After talking for a few more minutes, she yawns and stretches. Well, I think I'm going to get some sleep. I'm working a double tomorrow. No, that sounds good. I think I'll do the same. After a few minutes, she comes back from the bathroom in her pajamas and turns off the light. I lay there in the dark for a long time, listening to the silence of Lisa on the bed. I've laid there for I don't know how long, when suddenly I hear a voice. Justin. It calls to me, quietly. I try to get up, but webs cover me. Lisa's whole room is covered in them. I feel myself panicking. Justin. The voice calls out again in the dark. It's Sarah's voice. I see her crawling along the top of the ceiling. She begins to descend towards me slowly. Her 8 eyes like black flames as she falls towards me, her arms spread wide in her collective embrace. Her razor-sharp fangs gleam as they reach farther, farther down. I rock back and forth, trying to tear free of the webs. Justin. Her voice calls again, soft as the sound of wind through a deep, dark forest. I try to scream but nothing comes out except a moan. I awake and see Lisa over me. Justin. Justin, she's saying. I bolt upright, sweat is pouring down my face and chest. I look around the room with an intense sense of paranoia and terror. It's just a bad dream, she's saying. It's just a bad dream. I stare at her stupidly, taking in rapid breaths. It's okay, Justin. It's just me. It's Lisa. Lisa. I say, Lisa. Repeating her name helps ground me back to reality. I begin to say, then I feel a sudden rush of emotion and tears start to stream down my face. I'm sorry, I say, wiping them away. I'm sorry. No. It's okay. Here, come over here, she says and takes my hand. She guides me to her bed. Lay down here, right here. It's okay, she says and lays next to me, holding me. It's just a bad dream. She holds me like that for I'm not sure how long. When I wake up again it's morning and she's not in bed. She steps out of the bathroom and she's wearing her tight black pants and her collared t-shirt. Her hair is wet and in a towel. Feeling better? She asks. One day you wake up with $30 and a note that says for rent. The thing is you aren't renting out the place. The next day you see a spider and right before you kill it you hear it say, "Please, I paid my rent, don't kill me." Part 6. Much, I say. Look, I'm really sorry about. She holds a hand up. Don't worry about it, she says. Don't even worry about it. Truth be told, it was nice to have a warm body in bed with me. She laughs. It's been a while. My face flushes, and I look away at the clock on her end table. Late for work? She asks. Not yet. Well then you better hurry, she says with a smile. Thanks again, I say. Really? I step close to her and hug her. For a second, she doesn't move, then she hugs me back. I lean my head back and look at her. I'm about to kiss her when she puts her finger on my nose. Another time, she says. You're going to be late for work. I smile. Sure, I said. Of course. I grab my briefcase and walk towards the door. See you soon? She asks. See you soon, I say and open the door. I spend the day at work doing nothing but thinking of Lisa and what I'm going to say to Sarah when I get home. I've decided she's got to leave. I feel bad, but I have no choice. I feel I've been more than hospitable with her and there's just nothing more I can do. She'll need to find somewhere else to live. I'll help her do that, I decide. We can figure something out. I step up to my front door and grab the handle. I take a long, deep breath. I unlock it and push the door in. I'm met with a thick wall of alabaster white webs. I turn the living room light on and the webs sparkle all around me. I push my way through them, tearing them off me as they stick and cling to my clothes. Sarah. I call out. I hear nothing. It is as if I am walking through a blizzard. The webs hang and grab for me from all angles. Sarah. I call out again. I step further into the apartment. If this is actually my apartment, I can't tell anymore. You didn't come home last night, Justin. I hear her voice deep in the heavy curtains of webs. Her voice flowed silken and smooth, sliding through the white mist. I hear a clattering on the wall above me and I look up and see a black smear moving through the webs. Sarah? I say. Where were you, Justin? Her voice calls out again from the other side of the room. I look over, but don't see her through the white. Sarah? I can't see you. We need to talk. Oh? I hear a voice behind me, and I turn around. She is there. She's grown. She's as big as me. Bigger. And what is it you want to talk about, Justin? I step backwards, away from her. She crawls towards me, slowly. Everything okay, Justin? It's time for you to leave, Sarah, I say. To leave? She says. A small, tittering laugh escapes her mouth. Why would I do that? Is it because of that girl? That whore? I keep stepping back. I almost trip, and I look down. There are bones in the webbing. Large bones. I see more birds, a dog. Something else is there, not bones. But it is large. I can't see it very well. It's not dead. It is wrapped tight and moving, moaning. Sarah is moving forward slowly. I knock against my kitchen counter. I reach behind me, grabbing a butcher knife out of the butcher block. I bring it forward, pointing it at her. Sarah, it's time to leave. Justin, really is that necessary? I know you don't mean it. I know you wouldn't hurt me. You're just not feeling like yourself right now. It's her, isn't it? She's making you do this? No one's making me do this. Sarah, look around you. It's you that's done it. She had nothing to do with it. Sarah laughs. Is that so? Well, did you know that Little Whore's Pet Shop delivers? Did you know I placed an order for 6 little mice to be delivered here? And guess who showed up? My heart sank. Sarah? What have you done? Sarah crawls into her web and carries out the white wrapped bundle which is still squirming. I can hear the muffled screams deep within the silky cocoon. Sarah. I say. She told me you stayed at her house, Justin. She told me you cried in her arms. Have you ever done that with me, Justin? Have you? And after everything I've done for you. For us. There is no us, Sarah. You were my friend. A good friend. Someone I trusted. And now what? What are you doing, Sarah? What are you planning on doing? Everything will be fine once she's out of the way. I wanted to wait for you. I wanted you to see it. I wanted to show you how much stronger I am than her. How much greater I am. She leans forward towards the squirming bundle in her front arms, her fangs dripping with poison. I put the knife up to my neck. Sarah, if you touch her, I will kill myself. I swear on everything in this world, I will slit my own throat. Her fangs stop moving towards Lisa. You will not. I prick my neck with the blade. I feel a burn as blood trickles down the blade. Let her go, Sarah, and I will stay here with you. I'll never leave again. I promise. But you must let her go. I know you don't want to do this. You'll never leave again? She asks. Never, I say. That's a promise. Well, why didn't you just say so? Sarah says. I mean, I really wasn't going to do anything. I was just playing with her. I know you were, Sarah, but it's time to let her go. Sarah lifts herself in the air by her string, picks up Lisa and rapidly unravels her, then spills her on the ground. Lisa collapses on the soft white floor, gasping and crying. Justin. She yells. Leave now, I say. Don't say another word. Just leave now. Lisa was quiet for a second. She looks up at Sarah dangling high above her, then steps back. I don't ever want to see you again, Lisa. Ever. You got it? I say, the words pierce deep into my chest. She nods, stepping further back, then disappears around the corner and out of my life forever. I set the knife on the counter and walk towards Sarah. All right, Sarah, I say. Sarah descends from the ceiling and picks me up. I feel her arms around me, circling me as she weaves her web tighter and tighter. Oh Justin, I knew this day would come. We will be so happy together. Her strings constrict around me even more and I have a hard time breathing. Her fangs drip lustily. The poison falling softly onto the floor below us. Her eyes burn into me. Like distant, dark galaxies they burn. The gleam of the webs twist within the 8 gibbous marbles like constellations. They are hypnotic. How the light dances in them, circling around and around the center. Like black holes, I feel like I am being sucked into their dark depths. Her voice comes to me from far away. Could anyone ever be as happy as we are right now?